Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, it's a Saturday. According to this, anyway. Pardon me if I look tired. I woke up and I've been completely exhausted. Like I was up all night. I don't know what's causing it. I drank a Monster. Don't drink Monster. It has sucralose in it. Just to be at this level. So I feel like I don't feel stoned, but I feel like I'm high at just that kind of slower level, but I'm completely sober. That's not fun. What's up, One to Go To? Glad you made it. This is good to see you. Yeah, thank you. Good to be seen. I don't know. I guess every so often you just get a random sleepy day. It's not like I'm coming down with a cold or anything like that. Just that maybe I'm not sleeping enough for getting up too early or something like that. So to just go to bed extra early one day and that should fix it. But it's just weird to feel that like I went running or something. What's up, Francois? Glad you made it. Oh man, it was a full week, quite frankly. And I had everything set up to just following that every other Friday off pattern that he has. So I'm like pre-scheduling tweets to go out and stuff like that. And at the very end of the last show, Frank says he said a couple of things, but one of the things was that and I'll say this at the end of the show. Next week is going to be a full week as well, so there will be a show on the 26th. Even though I tweeted out that I was going to be on, I didn't tweet it, I posted it on YouTube. I woke up today like, did I schedule that? Let me, so I had to edit that. So Frank's doing a regular show. Yeah, what's up, Francois? Yeah, crush that like button. Absolutely. On the 26th, he's doing a regular show, that is. So, cool. So, we'll be at, quite frankly, next Friday. And, he also mentioned something about because he usually takes the second week of October off. Him and some of the family and friends go upstate New York so they can look for Bigfoot. Still haven't found him, but it's always the second week of October. It's that's when my New Year's Day is. So I was just pre planning that I was going to be working that last week of the year for myself. And then Frank said something about it was kind of vague, just he never ever says anything when he's going to be off. He never says it directly, and if he does, it's going to be quick. But he says he's going to be off on October 3rd. I already know that's a Friday off the top of my head. And then he mentioned something about how just taking like the weekend or maybe a long weekend off instead of the full week off. But that's all he said. He didn't say any dates like that. Maybe it's still up in the air, but it's like so. I don't know. It was the last thing I heard, and I just I didn't even have a chance to put it in any kind of schedule of mind. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it, and there's just that. But it okay, that's cool. He's allowed to take a week off. He doesn't have to. That's fine too. Francois says Frank didn't put the yesterday episode online. Yesterday's episode, there was maybe more than one episode this week. He did tweet out and probably put in Discord saying that those a few episodes are just not on YouTube. It's just it's better to delete an episode off of YouTube than get a strike on the channel and have to be off of YouTube for a week over it, quite frankly. So to avoid that, he knows what topics YouTube doesn't like, so occasionally he will. After it airs, it's not on YouTube, but it's still everywhere else. I guess I've never looked for. I don't watch episodes when they're not live, but allegedly they're on Pilled, Rumble, other platforms. So those episodes still exist, even if they're not on YouTube. So that's all that was. So possibly the last episode, maybe another one earlier this week. It's just a couple of topics YouTube does not like folks to mention directly, and so you get an email saying, hey, you did something we didn't like, and they might give you a timestamp, but they won't let you watch the video, so you don't know what you said. There's no audio transcript, so you can't just like read the auto-generated subtitle of what you said. You just don't know. And that's just like, hey, you did something wrong, so you're in trouble. And you said, what did I do? And they're like, you're in trouble. But what did I do? So it's like that. So he wanted to avoid that. Francois said, I'll just put a like on his Rumble channel. Yeah, he's always, he's on many platforms. He's got it in the, uh, I guess it's in the intermission. I don't always watch the intermission. I'm usually talking. It's up on quitefrankly.tv, all the places that he broadcasts the show on. Some places may just be podcast only, no video at all, like the radio or something. So yeah, if it's not on YouTube, it's not that Frank was off that day. It's just that it's if it happens to him like it happened to me when I got a strike, it wasn't exactly 24 hours. It was 2 minutes shy of that. So maybe you have almost 24 hours to be like, maybe I should take that down. So that's why that happens. No worries. And just for everybody's, just to know, because Frank has said this, he does have every single episode he's ever done saved on his computers at home. So just because they're not on YouTube or anywhere else, it doesn't mean they don't exist. It means he couldn't keep them online, but he does have all those saved somewhere. John McHugh said, hi, Nikki. Frank is taking... No, Frank's not taking off next week. He's working all next week. He's not taking the Friday off. He's doing the full... Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, that full last week of September, he's going to be working. And instead of, if he was going to follow his pattern of every other Friday off, he would have been taking next Friday off. But he said he's not doing that. He's going to work on the 26th. So okay. But then, yeah. And then he's talking about stuff that he does on his Saturday shows is stuff that he will premiere on YouTube on Fridays that he does take off. Just for example, I think what he said, I'm going on memory. I didn't write this down, and it happened 22 hours ago. Frank is going to take, tonight at 9 o'clock, Frank is going live on Rumble and quitefrankly.tv. And then he's going to take that episode and re-air it on October 3rd on that Friday when he does take that off. So there will be content available, even if it's not a live show. YouTube likes that. YouTube just wants to see consistent uploads. So that's kind of just they're playing the game. What's up, Arden? Glad you made it. But no, as far as we know, Frank's going to be in. And we will be there. It's so retro to have 5 days in a row every single week. It's such a throwback. It used to always be like that. Ask the older Franklies. Ask anybody who's been around for 6 months or a year. Back then, it used to be Monday through Friday. No, it's okay. Frank was taking Fridays off to spend time with his family in the summer, so it's not like he's just like he drives to the studio and just looks at the building like, I'm not going in there. Nope, fuck it. Schedules a show and then deletes it, so it's nothing like that. Now, Frank's going to be in. Oh, what's up, Wally World? Glad you made it. Oh, let's see. Let me back up a little bit. This is just kind of a personal story. Oh, not this last summer in 2025, but summer 2024. Grace Still Plays tweets out, hey, we're having a summer giveaway. Enter the contest and you could win something. It might have been like a Florida Man coffee shirt and maybe some of the hot chocolate that was part of his coffee company. It no longer exists, but at the time it was, I think it was just closing up last year. Sorry. So I entered, and it's it's a little bit of a survey, like how often do you watch the channel and stuff like that. It takes like a minute or two, and then you're entered. And it's one of those kind of contests where you can enter multiple times. So if it's open for like 2 months, you can sit there and apply 1,000 times every day. So if you got nothing better to do with your time, you can do that. I do have stuff to do, so I entered once, cool, whatever. Whole summer went by, didn't hear anything. Okay, I don't usually win contests, but it's worth a shot. So this summer rolls around, probably back in July. Hey, Grace still plays summer giveaway. We're giving away stuff, and enter here. So you go, you answer a few questions, it goes away. And I don't know, maybe sometimes at sometime at the end of last month, there's a tweet goes out, hey, you got 1 week left to enter this giveaway and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I already entered that. Cool, thanks for the reminder. And it's a few weeks ago. I just forget about it. Then about maybe the beginning of this month, I get some random email. That's not weird, but this was from like just Gray still plays the not the man himself. It's a company, it's a business, so that with the logo. Get an email and it's saying something about we have all these like maybe like second place stuff to give away to people, but so if you respond to this email with your address, we'll send you, I think it was a hot chocolate. I forget if they said what it was, but I kind of didn't care. At first, I was suspicious because if you give me something I want, I'm going to be suspicious. So this is coming from Grace Still Plays. So, like, my first thought was, is this fake? Because if somebody's going to try to fuck with me, it's going to be through my dad. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the like official like the name of the email and where it's coming from and make sure and everything's spelt correctly and all this stuff. And it's written in sort of like his tone, the way he would phrase things. So it was very on brand. And then all they were really asking for was, I mean, yeah, I said my first and last name, but Nikki M. Carlin. But it's just an address. I don't think I was giving it to Scientologists or Mormons, so I was like, what do I have to lose? Sent the email out. Not that day. I waited a day and then I remembered it the next day, which I usually never remember things. Or, yeah, it's right to be suspicious for sure. Yeah, so like, here's $1 million. It's like, thank you. Wait. Strings. So, but I figure it's just my address where somebody is put on a mailing list or stuff. I don't know. I didn't care. Sent it off. Didn't think any more about it. And then I don't know what it was Wednesday. I was just in a really good mood. I don't know why. A shout out to my kitten, Captain Hector Barbosa. That was his birthday, and then he ended up passing away almost not even 2 years later. But that was his birthday. I was just in a good mood that day. I don't know why. I didn't really have a specific reason to it. It just kind of was. Oh, Lisa Gray says, just got back from high bush cranberry picking and going to make sure this chair stays on the floor. Yeah, you don't let it float away. Keep your cheeks right on it. I know that's right. Anyway, Wednesdays I usually go out. So I go out, I come home, and there's a package lying just, it's clearly mail. It's lying by the floor. So it's just something that UPS. So I get really close to it. I wasn't going to touch it. I just got close enough so that my eyes could focus on the name. I saw my last name. Nobody else has that name. So I'm like, well, I guess it's for me. It was a little bit heavy. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to take this inside. And I didn't even read it. I had other stuff to do, eat, whatever, chill out. But then I kept looking at it. And then I actually read where it was from. And it's some business in Fort Myers, Florida. Florida. First of all, I haven't ordered anything, so I'm not like expecting any packages to show up. So like that was weird right there. Second of all, Florida, like who have I been talking to? I mean, there's Franklies everywhere. We have Floridian Franklies, but who have I been talking to in Florida? And like, why Fort Myers? And I thought about Googling the company. And then as I'm just kind of just, I don't know, just thinking about it on my own, Fort Myers, Florida. Who do I know who says that is where, like, gives that as their city? I don't know if that's where they live, but like that would be like me saying I'm in Cleveland when I'm an hour away from it. That kind of a thing. I'm like who specifically uses Fort Myers, Florida? And who would have my address? Who knows my last name in Florida? So it was kind of heavy. So I hold it up by the corner and I take the box cutter to it at the top. So I let gravity kind of pull it down. So I'm cutting and I'm cutting and I'm cutting and I'm looking at it. It's kind of feels like keto brains. If you've ever had keto brains, it's like a powder in a bag. So it had some weight to it. And it sort of felt like that, but it's smaller than a bag of keto brains, and keto brains comes in a box. This was a bag. Um, so that was just weird. So as I'm cutting, it's a white bag, and I'm looking inside. There's something yellow. I'm like, okay. And I'm cutting more, and at the very bottom of that, I see it's like a bluish green stripe, and then I see writing on it that says catastrophic. That's really not a word. I don't really hear that word outside of one place in my life. Like who has such a dire, catastrophic way of terminology, and then it was clicking in Florida catastrophic, Florida man coffee. This is the fucking chocolate, bruh. I got 2 bags of this. It is. Hold on, let me flatten it out. They don't make this anymore. The business, it went out of business like almost 2 years ago. But this, it's catastrophic hot chocolate. It's the Florida Man stuff. It's beat up like this. It kind of came like that. I don't know exactly when, but I know when I was getting my glasses last June, I was sort of looking into. I don't know why I went to FloridaManCoffeeCo.com, but it has nothing to do with Grace Still Plays whatsoever. So I'm like, oh, I guess it went out of business. Maybe that's why he doesn't talk about it anymore. And that's why he did have an email talk or a tweet about giving away shirts because the business went. Oh, okay, that's all. It's all clicking together now. All of that information makes sense. So I kind of always thought I would get this stuff. I forget how much it originally cost. Uh, I forget how much his coffee even costs. I heard it was a medium roast, and then reviews were just kind of like it's a medium roast. They would prefer, whichever. Um, I just kind of had a feeling it would come into my life, and then I also thought if I bought hot chocolate at the store, I would just get some. I don't know how it would just appear in front of me. And besides, all of the hot chocolate is made by Nestle. We don't do Nestle. It is so the first time I made it, I don't think I put enough in, but then I put in enough, like let me actually like read what the serving size, tablespoon, and then it's I haven't had like regular hot chocolate in so long. When I make hot chocolate, I just take I'll take a Hershey bar and break up a few squares and put it in the cup, pour hot water on it, stir it up. That's my hot chocolate. So I don't know how this compares to like Swiss Miss or any of the Nestle brands. It's good though. It's chocolatey. It doesn't taste sugary. I don't feel like I'm like jittery and jangly afterwards. I don't like do like a double up amount. I've had like maybe 2 or 3 cups. But it's good. I'm so sorry. It's the last of it. It feels like in Z Nation, or any zombie apocalypse thing, they have drugs on that show. Like, oh man, you got methadone, dude, and it just like it's the last of it. And dude just scarfs him down. So, but I got some. I got the other ones opened up. My only real beef with it is that one, like the white on yellow, it's a little bit hard to read. That's just me, nitpicking. But the seal on top doesn't want to seal, so I got it in a Ziploc bag. So, but that's okay. I'm sure that's not what did him in. This dude was selling coffee, and he has a gaming channel, so it's like somebody my age with a crowd of people 20 years younger than me trying to sell them coffee. I'm sure he has folks his age and older that watch his channel, but on the whole, it's mostly younger folks, and I don't know what they do for energy. So if they're not buying the coffee, then the hot chocolate. So it's just yeah. And as far as stuff in it, I'm talking about it like it's for sale. Like, yeah, I do see here it has that natural flavoring, air quotes, drink. But other than that, it doesn't sound like it has a bunch of bad stuff in it. It's from America. But yeah, if you can go back in time and try Florida Man coffee catastrophic chocolate, do it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back in time and get more. But that's something that really happened. Oh, I was so happy, even though my eyes were so messed up on Wednesday. So, Francois, it was kind of an alligator in a box. Oh, it's, Francois has been busy for a while, but he won't abandon the QF people. Yeah, just it's hella late for Francois too. He's in well, with that, his name is Francois. You can guess what country he's in. Lisa Gray says, "Wowza, me likey, chocolatey, catastrophic. Sounds intriguing. It is. I haven't tried it with coffee. Um, it's good. I like the fact that it's like, hey, it's super chocolatey, and then I got about halfway through the cup, and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't taste like I'm just drinking a cup of sugar. Like it doesn't taste like that. Like wow, I maybe people didn't like that, and maybe they wanted that sugary unhealthiness. I don't know what happened. That's okay. I feel like in his entire life, maybe that's literally the one thing that didn't work out. It seems like anything else he's tried, he's been successful at eventually. So, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I do have my Twitch chat room open, but okay, there's nobody in there. Oops, I didn't have it up. I got it here. I'm not broadcasting on Twitch, but I have my chat room open because there's people that watch who are not on YouTube. I don't think I would multi-stream to Twitch just due to the fact that this thing had so much trouble just getting set up, just dealing with the video. I'm afraid it couldn't handle it. I'm afraid that like I'd get stuttering and like 2 FPS and just 120p, whatever the lowest screen resolution is, like the very first television sets. So I would sooner stream Minecraft than multi-stream to Twitch, and that's nothing against Twitch. It's just everything against my technology. I don't think it can handle it. I don't know how to fix it. I do not have that kind of brain power to think out the things I would have been able to think out about 11 years ago. But that's what depression does to you. It takes away your memory. Just makes you feel stupid as hell. But yeah, subscribe to Grace Still Plays. I'm not wearing the shirt right now. I'm glad I'm not. It's like humid in here. He's a gamer. I look up to that guy. Okay, let's go all the way back to Monday the 15th. That's when Frank was saying there is a Saturday show. That's the show that he's doing at 9 p.m. So when this show ends, you can jump right on over to Pilled or maybe Rumble. Definitely at Quite Frankly.tv, which is still Pilled. And that's where that is going to be. It was cute because Rich Barris was on it. I like Rich. He's the one who one of his parents was a mockingbird. His birthday is it's sometime before New Year's Day, so the second week of October. Um, that picture that Frank uses in the thumbnail. It's from Rich's website. You can go there right now. And he's got like that coat slung over his shoulder. And like, no offense to the guy because I have the same thing. I've got these dark, circles, these bags here. Like, he kind of does too. But to be fair, he sleeps 3 or 4 hours a night. So he just does not have time to sleep. But on the picture on his website, they got rid of those. And it makes him look so young. He's an air sign. They just look young forever. And so it's kind of black and white, like he's wearing black or gray and like white. I don't know what color the tie is, but it looks like a black and white photo, and he looks like a Victorian child. It looks like one of those like sassy Victorian photos, like right about when it's not one of those proper photos. It's more like when they were just getting like, hey, we can do silly stuff in a photo and it's gonna be forever. Like teacup titties. I don't know if that's the official name. You've seen this portrait. It's a lady of a certain size back in the Victorian days, and she's kind of sitting profile, and she is very well endowed in the chest. And on top of both of her tits are a teacup and saucer, and she's got the biggest smirk on her face. I call that picture teacup titties. I don't know who that chick is, but you know she knows how to cook or where the good restaurants are. You know this chick loves to party. I want to meet that chick. John Rogers, what's up? He said, I miss Green Rich. Yeah, somebody asked why he doesn't use the green screen anymore. I said it's because it makes him Hulk out too much. But he had, I noticed this because we could see he's got that background that I guess that's it just seems like a fancier version of those like that cheap egg carton stuff to stop the echo. But he's got that fancy background. But we could see just like the tiniest little bit of extra white at the top. It wasn't necessarily hurt my eyes, but I can tell when the shot's different. And it's just enough that I noticed. And we get through the whole interview, and Frank's like, I had to adjust Rich's shot because it was different this time. And like, I noticed it too. I noticed that. I know I'm a little bit fidgety. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I'm just off today. We get all the way through Virgo, and now I want to clean. I don't know what it is. Rich still needs to draw those UFOs he says he's seen. And one was a big black Dorito that was silent and just had different layers to it and just whatever he said. I believe him, but I'll believe him more when there's pictures. Like draw it. I don't care if it's a pencil on lined paper. Draw it. I just wish this could. I think I know how to fix them, but I wouldn't do that to you guys live. Oh, Monday, Monday, Monday. Yeah. Rich's shirt said couldn't exactly read it. Seymour Cans, Seymour. Like nice tits. No homo. That's what it was. All right, somebody called in on Monday. Don't recall the name, but they started talking, and I was getting Willie Fix-It vibes. It was just kind of just you know Willie Fix-It. It was just kind of wacky. And then Frank's like, "What?" Because we didn't catch any words. And then the person kind of adjusted and then had a normal call. I said when they first called in, they must have had their Willie Fix-It filter on because that just started out wacky as hell. I'm like, what? I thought it was him at first. I'm like, okay, cool, but usually Frank says, John from Connecticut. That's too long, man. Just call him Willie. It's shorter. I have a great trick for him to remember that if he asks. Rich is so close to waking up to the fact that like just all these same stories in the news and the same details, he's so close to realizing that it's all made up. Like so many guests that Frank has and some of the callers too, they're so close to waking up. They remind me of myself at 16 when I was still believing the news and believing everything else. And and just religion is what woke me up. But like they're so close to realizing it's all fake. The news is anyway. John Rogers, yeah, there was a bot in chat last night. There often are bots. If you act like you're a bot, you're a bot. If you're harping on one subject for 45 minutes, or people straight in there, people straight come up in there and they start talking about a guest that has been on the show for 2 months. They're like, oh, yeah, man, that was so fucked up. Or I can't believe somebody said a thing. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, remember when this person was on? And we're like, oh, yeah, that was a few months ago, yeah. Yeah, it was so fun. Like they're talking about it in that chat room as if it was the day after that show. And it's literally been a month or two ago. Like, go to that show and comment in the comment section. It's okay to bring it up at a different show. Again, not for 45 minutes. It's in the past. Let it go. Make one of those long ass 80,000 character tweets people like so much. John Rogers, I didn't respond. That's the best thing you can do. If there is a bot, do not feed the trolls. You don't. You can kind of talk around them, not indirectly, but even more indirectly from that. I don't know how to explain it. Almost the way maybe the English would, but I just completely ignore it because they want your attention, they want your time. It's like the news, it's just there to waste your time. Yeah, John, that was claiming she needed a man. Yeah, it's probably because she was a dude. Yeah, that's when Frank was saying there was an extra week for the this Monday show. Afterwards, it's going to be Film Club, The Stand. It was going to be last week, but he's decided to push it out for another week. He just did not have time to sit and watch the movie or something like that. He had a lot of other stuff going on, and he's letting the news bum him out, so he was busy. Yep, that is why. Yeah, he's too many people are choosing to let the news make them sad when there is way too much to be happy about. And I think we had a caller call in. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you know you're winning when you're not letting the news decide your level of personal happiness. If you're having a good day and then you watch the news and then you're sad, that's what it's designed to do. That's your fault. Don't take it seriously. It's there to, like, fire is meant to burn you, the news is meant to make you sad. And they also lie to you. When people lie to you, it's because they don't respect you. And I don't know about you, but I don't have, my self esteem is not that low that I want to spend my time with people who don't respect me. I'm not that desperate for attention. Uh, Tuesday's guest spent more money on his background setup than his microphone, and that was hurting my ears after I think I got a half an hour into the show. I don't know when the interview started, but it was about 7:30 and I did not listen to the rest of it. It would be like me using the microphone that this thing came from. It's not quite that bad what he has, but if you've got the money and the resources to make your background look like that, then why does the microphone sound like we're talking on one of those phones with the antenna from like 1989? I mean, my audio is not 100%, but I don't have like a glowing light up background with lights and backlighting, do I? Francois, yeah, it was like one of those African guys in the deep jungle claiming they're blonde girls. Yeah, yep, that's what it is. John Rogers says, I have a tough time watching the video and chat anymore. I am on one or the other. Yeah, there are times when something's going on the screen and I literally cannot look at the words, which I'm like, I shouldn't be looking at this. I should be reading. But it sort of depends. This week, this keeps happening. It's happening this week. I guess it's going to happen forever, but I don't understand why people, just people, I'm sure it's not the show, I'm sure it's just folks everywhere, think it's okay to sit themselves in front of a white wall and put on a white shirt and aim every light in the house on them at 7 p.m. What makes them think, like, do you want to watch a show like that? Do you want to watch anybody wearing nothing but white the entire time? Like, it's not even for a shtick. They're not dressed up as a snowman. It's not a gimmick. It's not like they're all in white and then the person next to them is all in black. It's not a white shirt with black writing that says white shirt. There's zero comedy in it. I just don't get it. It just head on. You're not going to hurt my eyes like that. You're not going to disrespect my vision. I haven't been able to see all day, And then if then you go to a show and it's just pure white in your face, like wake up first thing in the morning on a snowy day and just stare at that snow for an hour, see how you feel. Is it laundry day and all you have is all white stuff? I want to know what forces come together to funnel into. It just makes no sense. You could literally be in the room with the lights off because of the wall and your shirt, and you probably haven't been outside in 50 years, so you've got like pale skin, which is fine if you're a gamer or something, whatever. You don't have to go outside. I just can't. John Rogers says my brain hasn't healed that good yet. Yeah, same. I just holy crap. Arden says the stand is like 6 hours long. Uh, no, is it not the stand? What's that movie that Franco always talks about with the deer scene? The one with River Phoenix and two of the kids lost their virginity on the set. I know more about the backstory than it Lean on Me. The not the Shining. Oh, what's up, Pete? Glad you made it. Not it's not Lena. Is it Lean on Me? Uh, it's not the stand. Isn't the stand about? I've never seen the stand. It's not that lean. I'm thinking of the song. That's not it. I'm not watching the movie. I don't care. I'm tired. I'm not flipping back in my notes. It was announced too late. I'm not going to be there. The last time Frank did a movie club, it was only an hour. We need longer to sit around and talk about that movie. Stand by Me. Thank you, Warden. Yeah, I'm just very, very sleepy. Francois, last episode was real food porn. It was some kind of porn. Oh yeah, the new intro song. It's the same song. There's just not singing. It's to Frank's trying to avoid any kind of copyright, sort of a thing. So it's like somebody else played it on guitar. So that's it's the same song, but it's just played different. And this only comes up maybe twice a year, but it used to happen more. People would ask who does the intro song, even though it says Son of Sam right in it's Son of Sam by Shinedown. I don't know the full song. I just know what's in the intro there. So now all that's going to do, I understand why it had to be done, but the fallout from that is that from now until the end of time, people are going to come in. I like that song. Who plays it? I don't know, man. It's a new song. Frank just dropped it on us. He's never used that song before. Who's Shinedown? It's fine. It's fine. That's just what you get. It'll be fun. Maybe they have other good songs, and somebody's gonna find a new band that they like. It does need to go a little bit harder. I don't think it rocks as much. Like think of the intro for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Needs to go a little bit harder. Just needs to pack a little bit more of a punch, but it's a good change. It's still in key. Then we got to the intermission. That has been the pitch has been changed on a few notes. Uh, it does sound like the intermission song got into Larry Xanax, so it's like a super chill. Maybe just use a different song with the same tempo. I don't know. It's just I think it's just because it's new. It's just hitting my ear weird. So it's I don't always listen to the intermission song. So that's fine. It's I get it. It's royalty free intermission. That's what he said. So I get it. I do understand that is a thing. Francois says there's a plugin called Shazam. Oh, helps out a lot of people find out what a song is. Yeah, Arden was doing that with a lot of the songs on Dark Shadows. Apparently, in the bar, they play different music. I just thought it was just written for the show, and she's like, no, that's a real song by this person and this artist and this year. I'm like, I didn't know they were allowed to do that back then. I don't know what kind of how copyright existed for songs on TV shows or like loopholes or just like hopefully nobody's watching. We're gonna play these songs. Maybe in the first year they could get away with that. Lisa Gray said, I watched a documentary by my son's cousin via his biological dad. It's called Blood and Myth. Crazy above the Arctic Circle weirdness about the folkloric, mythical little people. Oh, do they have a snow dwarves? I was going to say snow golem. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. Not a lot, just as much as I can. Arden said they use Pedro and his Mexican band or something like that, and a lot in the Blue Whale. There's one track, I think they play it once. It is the most goofy, upbeat. It sounds like a track from a cartoon, but we're watching Dark Shadows in Maine. Like, who picked this song on the jukebox? Because whoever did, like, they must have taken it out right after that song because nobody. This is a bar for adults. It couldn't you drink at 18 back then? But still, I don't have to think about it too hard. But I'm pretty sure there's never been a child actor in the bar at any time. At any time, maybe they weren't allowed to show that, but it just did not happen. And they were talking about praying. Get it? Like people don't know how to start praying. You put your hands together and you in a quiet room and you start talking in your head and it feels really awkward at first. Like you don't even have to put your hands together. It feels stupid to start out. It really does because you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're listening. It's like grabbing a microphone and you just don't know. It's awkward, but start doing it and it's why I'm alive today. Don't use an app to help you pray. The last thing you should be doing is making sure you're connected to the internet before you can pray. No, that's satanic. It's so you can hold your phone. Maybe like, oh, I got to tell God something. Hold on, I put it in my notes app. But if it's that important, maybe you should have just say it at the time. It's not like you have to wait for a certain time to pray, like 3:29, 3:30. Okay, just. Oh yeah, it was the 60s. Uh, Inukuns, they're called. Inukuns. I would want to pronounce it Inukuns, like a Japanese. They have that Kun at the end of words. My quote tribe calls them Ish-E-Goks, like ISH-E-GOKS. Ish-E-Goks. Hard to write the words. Yeah, guttural doesn't translate well. Yeah. It's kind of one of the fun parts of Dutch. You got to have that little extra ness when you speak it. Arden said, and Engelberg, Humperdinck's, love me with all of your heart. Oh, you gotta, woo! You gotta play love songs at the bar. Come on now. Some of those people are, maybe they love alcohol. Yeah, don't use an app to pray. Just pray. And Frank Zell called in. Holy crap. We know that guy. Just Frank Zell. He didn't get there wasn't a chime halfway through and then Jim Zell was on the phone. So it was just him. And, when was this? Sometime in the last couple of weeks, maybe even a week ago, just randomly this just happens where people would just be like, I haven't seen so and so. I miss this person. I miss that person. I keep playing with my hair. Why is my hair doing this? They'll just mention somebody they haven't seen in a while, and sometimes that starts other people off, but sometimes they're just saying it, and you should. If you're thinking about somebody randomly, just bring it up. But they mentioned Poopy Butthole, and we just have not seen that guy in years, and he's a little bit younger, so I'm sure he's busy. He's got a life. But it has been, years since he just can't be around regularly with us. Anyway, Tuesday's show, I saw somebody saying hi to him, like, and then his name, and then I scrolled back up. He was there! So we got Poopy Butthole in the chat room. That's so good. That's chat room summoning. That's how it goes. That's why you should mention people you haven't seen in a while, because sometimes they'll show up before 9 p.m. Arden says, praying is good. You invoke God, ask for things, express gratitude to God, say in Jesus' name, amen. Yep. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm talking to somebody. I don't know. I don't have anybody else to talk to. Maybe somebody's up there, and you just do that for a while. It's different for everybody. I don't want to say that's why organized religion's a little bit weird. Oh, you'll get this feeling that it's this. It's like, yeah, there's similar feelings you get when you're praying, but it's I don't like with organized religion, if you don't worship in a very specific way, they act like you don't exist as a person. And that doesn't sound very religious to me. I would imagine religion would make you more accepting of people who have different views from you. But it seems like the more indoctrinated people are in organized religion, the more likely they are to cast you off for being 1% different from them. So that's how they are. Well, the world says, I remember Poopy. Hell yeah. John Rogers says he was banned happy on D Live. Ooh, that's not good. D Live, what I saw when I was there, like, there are good people there. They know how to act. The only time there was a problem was, I don't know how this happens, but somebody will just, like, spam 30 messages, and it's like 30 different screen names, and I have moderator status over there, but there's no way to, like, stop that from happening, blocking those people. It just happens. You're just fucking stuck with it. But the actual Franklies there that I saw, they know they're well behaved. What were we talking about? But Ricky Lynn had the best line of the whole night. It must have been something Rich and Frank were talking about, but we get almost all the way to the end, and all she says is, when does he get to fuck the gun? Oh, I cannot remember. I lost my shit. That was the funniest line all night. And people calling in talking about how they're confused, that they watch the news and they're confused about the world. And they're adults. So you're spending your time, you're wasting your time watching a show that's just designed to lie to you and make you feel sad, and you come away from that feeling confused. So what should you do to make that stop happening? Just anytime you have a problem, just reverse engineer it and you'll get an answer. Or try the opposite of it and you'll get an answer. If doing something makes you feel sad, stop doing something. Do another thing. Like, hey, it hurts when I do this. Well, maybe stop doing that because it hurts. Maybe do this instead, to find another way. Just because your friends like to feel sad all of the time by watching the news, that doesn't have to be you. Maybe their lives are so cushy, they're just borrowing trouble from other people because that's the only way they know how to. They can't express their own feelings, so they let the news decide what feelings they get to express. Watch less news. You will be less confused. You have better things to do with your time than to call into a TV show and tell another grown-ass man that you're confused about the world. I hope your family is. I would hate to Hear my dad call into a show talking about, oh, I watch the news and I'm confused about everything. Just like, get it together. You got people looking up to you, man. You're not 18. You're not a child. What is so confusing? It's not, like, do you, you would probably get a kick out of a Jack in the Box. Oh my God, what's going to happen after I turn this crank? Francois, that's the whole point of news nowadays. It's just there to make you feel worse about yourself. I was a news watcher when I was a teenager. I stopped doing that. I was a happier person. I wonder how I fixed that. Jen Rogers says, I love my D Live fam. TL Spud, Syllabore, Zoot, aka BMGK, and more. Yeah, yeah, good people over there. Oh, Dandy pops in over there. Oh, good. That's the thing about Frankly, since like we like YouTube, but then we all have our other like second or third channels that we will hang out in. I like that. Yeah, Wednesday, I don't know. I think I was cleaning my glasses in the car, and then I realized after the fact that's probably what fucked me up because I felt stoned. I had not touched any drugs. I was just lying down. I had to charge my phone, so I was lying down, resting my eyes, had the TV on. So the phone got done charging, took it off the charger, and then I must have nodded out because then I woke up and it was 7:30. And I realized I should have, I should be in a chat room at that time. Oh shit, how did I oversleep? Well, my alarm didn't go off because my phone was off, and I was resting my eyes. That was just no good. So I got stuck in the elevator. What happens when you go up to the balcony? You want to like touch every single button, and it's kind of cute. So you get to the fourth or fifth floor, and it gets stuck. So that's why I was not there immediately. And then I did get a few DMs, so thank you guys for reaching out. Folks were worried about me. I don't mean to make people worry. I couldn't see. I rested my eyes. Maybe if my alarm would have gone off, but I usually don't show up late and never take a nap before the show. At least me, because I can't smoke out on the balcony. I'm already sleepy. What's the point of smoking something that's gonna make so? And then I show up to the show, and I think I would have liked it too. I'm getting sick of hearing about the same event that happened over a week ago, and so we're get two guests on. We're probably going to talk about something deep. And the guy, I didn't catch anybody's names, but the guy, his shirt was giving me like 80s Gucci, Florida vibes, like adjacent. I know he wasn't wearing Gucci, but it was giving me that vibe. And then the whole time, I just wanted to be like this because his camera was just tilted just enough, not a Dutch angle, but it was tilted just enough that it looked like all the binders on the side here were gonna fall off and hit him. So like I was the whole time I was just like, don't just like do it. He should have been doing the interview like that, like holding the stuff up. It just gave me anxiety. But then the other lady, again, pure white, so I couldn't just had on, I couldn't see anything. But it seemed like it would have been fun to catch from the beginning. Uh, I couldn't even speculate on what they were talking about before I showed up, and I never watched the show when it's not live, so I never. I also don't. People will tune in late, and then they watch from the beginning, but they have it on like in increased speed. I can't do that. I never have. I never will. If I miss it, I miss it. So people are watching, quite frankly, talk in his chipmunk voice before they get up to the part where we're at. No, just get in where it's at. So I'm just going to assume it was a good conversation. And somebody who was it? Was it the guy talking about somebody who did meth? And the voices they heard in their head when they were on meth were telling them to like, oh, okay, wait here and hide in the dumpster. Wait 5 minutes. And, okay, you can walk away. Oh, but the cops are right there. Voice in his head. No, no, the cops won't be there. They're down the block. So it's almost like the voice in his head was the like the writer of the story, like the narrator, telling the junkie where to go and where to steal, and it made him a better thief. There's a video game like this. I think it's called Thief Simulator. Grace Still Plays has played it, but that's what it is. You're in a nice neighborhood and you're breaking into houses and you're opening drawers and taking paintings and phones, and you're hiding the stuff in the dumpster, and the cops come by with the flashlight and you're hiding, and then you gotta wait. It's that game. It's that game. So was that guy really a meth head? Or was he just a gamer and he lied? I don't know. I'm just putting that together now. But I've seen that before. It didn't have the voiceover in the video game. But and what kind of voice? Is it like if you're a guy, is the voice male? Do you get girl voices as well? Do they have accents? Are they a different age than you? Like you have the old man voice, or like the friendly grandma voice who tells you to break into cars. I don't know. I'm glad I don't have that problem. I'm sorry for folks that do, because that's a whole world of shit. I just don't know what it's like to have to deal with. But that was a great story to hear. Like the more it went on, I'm like, I cannot believe this is real. This is too much fun. Like that's why meth heads act that way. And I think this must have been the same time. But somebody mentioned how that they did Xanax once and they never wanted to do it again because it got rid of that voice or that sensation that tells you to not do things. That's just Xanax. That's why people take it and they think they can rob a store because nobody's looking at them and they're not going to get caught. I'm not saying they do that, but you will have that thought. It's okay to have a bad thought. You can have a bad thought anytime. It doesn't mean you have to act on it. But I've been on Xanax in a store and you get that sensation like, I can do anything. Nobody's looking at me right now, not even the cameras. But then this is where that person can't control themselves. That's when you realize you're doing the drugs aren't doing you, and you remember that you're not a fucking criminal, so you just don't steal. It's sort of sad the way people are afraid of drugs. Maybe they didn't do street drugs when they were younger, so they just don't know that's what it's supposed to do, but that's what it does. You don't have to do it. You might feel like punching a window when you're drunk. It doesn't mean you do it. You're going to have to deal with your hand being all cut up. Francois says there's plenty of simulator games. Drug dealer sim, autopsy sim, even supermarket sim. Yeah. Oh, NT, what's up? Glad you made it. The only thing I suffer from weed is HHS syndrome. Happy, hungry, sleepy, in that order. Right. Yeah, simulator games are fun. From what I've seen, that's what Grand Theft Auto was fun. That's just California Simulator with the violence and everything. Willie Fixit did call in on Wednesday, so great. Willie, I don't think this happened later on in the week, but we were figuring out, well, Willie Fixit needs to be on keto brains because he just has all of the thoughts all at once. Imagine that man with focus. Dude. Or maybe that is him focused, so imagine him with more focus. Dude needs to try that stuff. This sucks because if you don't know, you really wouldn't know unless you're in the chat room a lot. But earlier this year, it sounded like Willie's wife was just going through it, just in and out of hospitals. And, it sounds like it's just him and his wife. So he was the one holding it together and he was calling in. And you could kind of tell it was kind of hard for him. But, we're there for him. It's good for him to talk to us. So we're all there for each other. I assume she's better now, whatever it was. Now, Wednesday, that was the 17th. I guess that was her birthday. But Willie decided to let himself get bummed out by the news. So that ended up ruining his wife's birthday. So he'd rather be sad about something on a TV show than to be happy about the day his wife was born. I don't know that lady. I know her line. Like I take a lot of drugs. Somebody asked how, like, Frank asked how she puts up with him. She's like, oh, I either take or do. I do a lot of drugs. I take a lot of drugs. That was a line though, and she did not miss a beat. After all that shit she went through, you're gonna let a TV show bum you out so bad that a person that you're married to in real life, for better and for worse, and all of that stuff, I guess that's where his priorities are. I like Willie Fixit a lot. I'm sorry that he's letting the news bum him out and ruin his life. Like, if I'm dating somebody and it's my birthday, I don't even really celebrate my birthday. So this would be something else somebody else set up. And then we get to the day and you're like, and then you're just sitting there crying a tear in your beer over something you watched on the news. I think we'll be broken up before the summertime. I would never, date somebody who took the news seriously, but yeah, I just no. I'm sad about a thing. Like, people you don't know die every day. Are you going to be sad about all of that? How comfortable, how good do you have it that you have time to be sad about things that have zero effect on your life? John Rogers, something Willie will be watching the stream on 3 or 4 platforms at the same time. Good for him. I wish I could do that. Oh, that's why I want a computer with more monitors. Like not even to moderate. I just want to see all the conversations. I just want to see what everybody's perspective is on whatever Frank's talking about at the show. That's why Fridays are fun, because I'm always on Twitch and YouTube. So I get to see or maybe something we talk about on Twitch in the first hour, suddenly the YouTube people are talking about just completely independently. Like, I'm not trying to like feed the, information in there to like see if they get on the same topic. No, just completely independently. They'll bring up two like the same thing. I love seeing that. Willie Fixit can do that kind of stuff too. He's an Aquarius. So Wednesday, this is when this fella called in. I did not catch his name, but he kind of sounded serious. He's a fan of the show, but he's kind of a recent fan. He called it his partner, his lady. Francois, my Twitch channel. It's there in the description for the channel. It's Nikki M Carlin. It was the same name everywhere. But this guy's partner, this lady, she got him into the show. She had been for 15 years, her whole life. She'd been just in and out of hospitals. She had something with her back. Something. Anytime somebody has something wrong with their back, I feel for them. I've got a bad back. Bad. I would say bad back gang, rise up, but stay where you are. I know what it's like. So she was having like back issues, in and out of hospitals, probably surgeries. But what they ended up doing was, trying to treat her with medication. And then it got to a point where they were saying, oh, because you're on all these meds, we were going to consider you a junkie. And then they were putting her on Suboxone, maybe. I forget the actual name, but they're just medicating this poor woman to death. And they're just using her like a guinea pig. And she just could not take it anymore. And back on, he kept bringing up May 1st. She just decided to unalive herself. Don't know how, but that's her choice. Totally understandable. Um, it's bad to be in that situation. It's bad it's bad for everybody else dealing with the fallout, because either they didn't know it was coming, or maybe some people see signs and symptoms but they ignore it. But the fact of the matter is, she's no longer with us. Her name was Jules, and not Jules and MD, the one that we see a lot, but probably Jules like a jewel, like a stone. And as he was talking more, somebody had mentioned like they'd spoken to a Jules before, and I was sort of remembering that handle. But I'm thinking, if you have a bad back, how often can you really be typing at the show? Like, I've got to be lying on my stomach to type it, quite frankly. So I get it. Um, but yeah, just hospitals are evil. They just give you these medications that just make you worse. And then they just called her a junkie for it, and she cannot get any help. And now she's up, with the lava lamps in heaven. And our heart really goes out to them. And it just, like, I'm glad to know it. Don't, if you're going through a hard time, tell us. If somebody does pass away, tell us, because we don't want you to suffer in silence. We're all here for everybody. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. You don't want people to know that kind of personal stuff, but you don't have to we're not going to judge you because you had a family member die or something. But that really sucks. And it got there towards the end of the call, and dude kind of said, like, you could tell he was tearing up, like he was being a man about it, but you could almost see the tears welling up in his eyes. At least I could. Uh, but we got all through that conversation, and I'm like, you know what? That guy there, he's got real problems. He just lost his partner of over 10 years, 20 years, whatever, how long it's been. I bet for a fact that guy is not sitting around sad because of somebody who died on the news, because he's got real problems. He's got real sadness. He's got real trouble. He doesn't need to borrow it from a TV show and drag it out for, it's every day I just wait to see when it's going to come up in every single show. And then everybody in the chat room talking about how they're letting a TV show bum them out. That's what pisses me off. Just normal happy people who don't have anything wrong, and you have got nothing better to do than to let yourself be sad for almost 2 weeks about somebody you never fucking met, have nothing to do with. But that guy doesn't. He's got his head on straight. He's still with us, even though he's picking up pieces from his. I hate the word partner. It's if you're not cowboys, or you're not gay, or you're not, like, say, like you work together as cops or something like that, then say what they are. They want people to, it's like devaluing the family unit. So they don't want people to say husband, wife, married. They want you to say, oh, that's my partner, because that's what the gays do. It's okay if you're gay. It's not okay to discredit the institution of marriage. So when you say, I don't know if they were just dating that whole time. I don't know if they were married. I don't know if they robbed banks together. I don't know if they were cowboys. We just don't know. I just, like legally, if they were married, I'm sure he's entitled to. I don't know. We just don't know that stuff. But like say what it is. If you're not a cowboy or a cop, I don't even think you would call it. Say if you're a gamer and you game with other friends, like I don't think Swaley would call Puff his partner. It's kind of gay. Like they're just friends that happen to both play the same game. Like Puff moved in with Moose. They're not partners. They're just friends that are gamers and happen to live in the same house. I just, yeah, I'm not knocking that guy for saying that word. I'm just saying that word, don't say that. If you're married, say married. It's because I've come across so many, like, old people, like grandma age people. Oh, that's my partner. Well, damn, Gertrude, I didn't know you robbed banks. Like what happened to husband and wife? Like you hate them so much you won't refer to them as your spouse? What's going on? Like, because when you do that, I'm just waiting to hear about the divorce. Like, oh, you were married last year. Now you're partners. Oh, you're going to be single next year, won't you? So, yeah, R.I.P. to Jules. More power to her guy who's still holding it together. I don't know if they had, he didn't mention if they had kids or pets or anything. Francois, yeah, partners are really a commercial thing. It's just, that's when, like the gays, they couldn't get married, but they were living together for years. So one would say, oh, that's my partner. That would just indicate that because they were not allowed to get married, but yes, they are living together. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to use that word. But if you're married, if you're a guy or a girl, married to a guy or a girl, like straight, that's your husband or wife. If you rob banks on top of that, then they're your partner. If you're a cowboy on top of that, that's your partner. We're not in Deadwood. It's just because they're just trying to devalue marriage. That's all that really is. You can, if you're not boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, you're not partners. Our light bulb eating, bank robbing friend did not have a partner. He worked solo when he did that. Okay, end rant. Thursday, I don't know, man. Talking about Minecraft real quick because I got into it watching like ARGs, horror mods, Broken Script, and Null, Hero Brine, stuff like that. Friends, well, I like a good grant. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can stand subject that long. Um, I feel like the day I talked about after I watched Joker 2, I was so damn tired. I feel like that, but I didn't go to the movies. But anyway, so like I realize Minecraft is not supposed sometimes there's just creepy stuff, but I've watched a lot of videos over the summer, so I don't know everything, but I sort of know it's not like that learning curve where you think you know everything about something when you're brand new to a subject. Like the more I learn, I realize the less I know. I'm one of those types. So one to go to excellent rant 100%. It's just those little things that's how they get you. Just those little changes with words. They think you're not noticing. I'm noticing. I like words. I hang out in the chat room. So even though I'm playing like vanilla Minecraft, no mods or anything like that, I'm always on the lookout for weird stuff. Like why is this chicken staring at me? Why do I get into an area and dude's just looking at me like he wants to fight? Like, you are a chicken. I have a sword, and he's looking at me like I'm on his turf. Like weird stuff like that. Maybe that's just how they're programmed, but or like that first day I played and I saw floating blocks. I'm like, okay, this is already weird. So I don't usually do this, but I started teleporting around. I was kind of getting lost. I'm playing in a new world that I don't know where anything is. Just trying to find villages, trying to find anything. That's why I'm noticing too, exactly, yeah. So villages usually have adults. Some of them have jobs, some of them don't. There's a lot of villagers, there's not a lot of villagers. It just depends. So I get to one, and I don't see a lot of like children villagers usually, but like there's one there. There's two. Okay, it's kind of a big house. Maybe they're brother and sister. Cool. Walking through this town more. Like, hey, there's an adult. There's little cherry bushes, whatever. Oh, what's up, Beach App? Go through all these houses, and I can't help but notice like almost every single house I look into either has a child in it or a child walking out of it. And then I'm starting to pay attention. Like, is it the same kid I'm seeing, or is it like no? See, there's three right here. Okay, then there's another one over there, so that's four. So I get all the way through this village. I turn back around. It's maybe like five or six kids and one or two adults. Like maybe one, if that. And I went to a couple other villages, and it's like mostly adults, usually not children around. Why does this one village have nothing but kids? I've never heard of that. It hasn't come up into like here's like 100 odd things you'll see in Minecraft. Here, this has like a 1 in a billion chance of like there's videos like that. I've never come across one video like you're gonna find a town and it's mostly kids. So I mean, like nobody had jobs. I couldn't trade with anybody or nothing like that. So just take the wheat and leave. But I kept thinking about it the whole rest of the day. Like that is just so. I wasn't trying to think about it, but it just kept thinking about it. Like why would it be programmed to do? I know it can be. It's programmed to be random, but a whole town full of children. They're gonna grow up eventually, but how do they? Why would that happen? So we get to quite frankly And I wasn't going to say anything. But whenever you think I shouldn't say anything, you should say something. You know, maybe not like, hey, I think that person's an asshole. I'm going to tell them. Like maybe not quite like that. Unless they push you, then they got it coming. But so I finally just brought it up because it was just staying stuck on my mind. I low key wanted to call the Zells, but I don't think either one of them play Minecraft. Like, hey, let me tell you, you ever come across this? So it just like that wouldn't work. I don't have their phone numbers either. So I just it was feeling kind of just creepy. So I said something in the chat room, like this is off subject, but I got to this town in Minecraft and it's nothing but children, villagers living there. What are they doing? I just that's just it. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I haven't read the book or seen the movie, but I know of this. Rover says, where am I at? I fucking died so hard. He said it was the Lord of the Flies. I fucking died. LMFAO, 10 exclamation points. Completely lost my shit. As upset and bothered as I had been for most of the day, because I'd seen it earlier that day, to just have that completely relieved by him saying that, I just crashed. I'm like, do I move back in to make sure a pervert doesn't like find this village? I know Minecraft isn't like that, but and I don't know where to find it again. The Lord of the. I need to find that. If I find that village again, I'm going to hang up a sign that says Lord of the Flies on one of their buildings. Oh my god. Yeah, beach. Yeah. Don't mess with bullies. They're just like trolls or bots. They got nothing better to do, so they just want your time. This is when Thursday is when we had that fella on who was a DJ, the psychedelic DJ. Uh, yeah. Really. Well, but he spoke well. His background he had a white wall. It was mostly he had like a painting, but there was that white wall there. It just with my eyes still messed up from when maybe that's why I'm messed up still today. But just I just had to have the hat on. But like he's well spoken. He's got for somebody who was a DJ, you'd think they'd be like, "Whoa, man, it was so wild that I was here." But like he just sounds like a regular guy talking about like, yeah, I just got into it and it, turntables and whatnot. And it was like something like 1993 and it was 17. Like hell, man. What's your favorite house remix? And then I was you saying like, hey, is he gonna like DJ something for us at the end of the interview, like play us a song? And he didn't, but he's got a website and a book. He wrote a book. Um, is he the one? No, the guy from Wednesday night. He was selling a book and he held it up and he held it up upright and he didn't shake it around or nothing like that. It was great. I don't think this guy had a book. I mean, he wrote one, but he didn't show it to us. But he was talking about how the Gen Z does not know how to party. They're lightweights. They go to bed super early. It sounds like they're not into hard drugs. I bet they don't even do powder. They just don't know how to party. It's like I grew up, but like all my friends partied, and it's because their parents probably did. You know, maybe they shouldn't have been seeing their parents all fucked up like that. But it just I learned in a safe way. You're supposed to stay up all night until the sun comes up, getting high. That's normal. That's normal. You don't go to bed at 11 p.m. when you've been partying with your friends. No, you got to push it into the clock needs to roll over until the next day. I don't understand that lightweight stuff. And I realize not everybody likes to party. Like just because I like it doesn't mean it's everybody's thing. I'm not saying I do it all the time. It's been years, but if you're gonna do the thing, like really fucking do it. That's why their parents really did party too much. Yeah, yeah, they're. It's okay to party. It's another thing to see your, not mine, but just an example from one of my other friends. See your dad strung out on heroin, and you got to step over him. I'm sorry they had to grow up seeing that kind of a thing, but yeah. But dude, I love partying. I'm all about catching a buzz, having a good time. Life's hard and it sucks. So if you can do anything to take the edge off, do it. I'm not saying you should be like neglecting your job and your family and your responsibilities just to go out to the club or to do pills or whatever you're gonna do. But have a time and a place for it. I mean, I've always, whenever I've partied, it's been with my own money. So if I'm going out, it was like on the weekend, the Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, responsible the rest of the week. It's not like an every night I'm drinking and all of this. Even when I would go to my friend's house, I wasn't there every night doing that. But some people have to, and then they're also not happy people. So all things in moderation. Gen Z are pussies, man. Teach them how to party. Don't they? They must not make movies about partying. You haven't been up all night. If you haven't been up all night till the sun comes up, partying and getting high, then I just I don't know. I don't know what to do for you. You have to do that. You have to do that. You have to be fucked up and see the sun come up and realize, dude, I'm fucked up and the sun's coming up, and then go to bed. And I guess again, this is people that they've never done street drugs, so they don't know what it's like. This dude is into psychedelics, and he's people ask him about it, and they're afraid it's gonna mess them up or change them. Off of one trip, like how much fear porn were you fed in the '80s to think like you touch one drug one time and then your whole life falls apart? It takes a minute. Like even with heroin, I've seen people get on heroin and like they think they've got it together, and they've got it together for a while because it hasn't been that long yet, and then things slowly start to fall apart. And if you have them over to your house, things go missing. Well, he was saying that psychedelics, you don't have a trip one time and then you sober up and then you're just suddenly different. They show you how to change. You're in that state and your brain just tells you like, well, here's what you got to do to stop being this way so you can be a better way. Just try doing it like this. Kind of like meth, but in a good way. Like instead of that meth voice telling you to hide from the cops, it's a good voice telling you how to change the bad things in your life to good. That's what that is like. So if you think you touch one drug one time and you're addicted for life, you have been brainwashed by the media. It doesn't work like that. If you want to take a pill that's going to fuck you up for life, it's in a gun and it's called a bullet. But other than that, I mean, like I'm sure they make pills that are gonna f you up if you take them one time. But like pharmaceutical type of stuff you have to go to get inside of a hospital, which I would never do. I can't unalive myself at home. That's when I was saying, does Guy have a? I don't know if he has this, but I was saying they should make a May It Be extended house remix. And as soon as I said that, Frank brought up the Lord of the Rings on the show. Like, oh my god, you know May It Be. You've seen the Lord of the Rings. I said you've seen the Lord of the Rings. Swear to God, if you don't get this reference, how can you not? Instant classic. I've talked about those movies before, especially the first one. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring is in my top 5 movies of all time. Uh, I'm right. Frank is doing a show on Friday. Did I write that? Did I miss here? Maybe I misheard. Okay, yeah. Disregard. I don't know why I wrote that down. Maybe I just misheard something. Brian says LOTR is the best epic of all time. Damn straight. The second and third ones were hell because they had to do a lot of like pickups and other takes, but I don't. Oh, I don't watch. I haven't seen it because it's long. It's movies are long now. If you want to watch a short movie, go back 100 years. They were an hour long. They were great. It's a long movie that's also good. Francois, yep, and it's very close to the book. The Lord of the Rings is so faithful to the books. It's. Oh, I'm getting chills right now because I did see the films first, and then they came out in 2001, 2002, 2003, and then in 2005, that's when someone borrowed to me The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and I got to read them. I read them in order. Just for example, when they spoilers for these films, I don't care. You should have seen it by now. When they get to Lothlorien, just the spectacle and the grandeur and the height and the decadence, what you see on film is described in the books. I shit you not. That's why they're so thick. Tolkien is a Capricorn. It's one of the signs that can rant and just keep going and going forever is a Capricorn. You've never read such spectacular, awe inspiring scenery described. And he will also describe a barren wasteland with the same amount of detail. It's like you almost don't, if you had no imagination, you could still imagine the stuff because of the detail the man puts in there, and it's all grammatically correct. So it's just I want to say it was easy to make those films. I'm sure it was not, but to watch them, it's so seamless to take words that were printed back during World War II, well, were written, and then it was, published later on, and it turns into a movie. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing that's written on the page. They didn't try to make it bigger. They didn't try to make it less. That is exactly what Tolkien wrote. Any other movie you watch, they're going to try to make it some kind of spin on it. Anything you watch about ancient Egypt, it's not going to be 100% correct. I can even pick apart The Mummy, even though it's probably the closest film to ancient Egyptian stuff. So you're never going to see a film about ancient Egypt and have it stick to actual facts. They're going to sensationalize it. Not so with Lord of the Rings. They just took exactly what's in the book and they put it up on the screen, and it's fantastic. Maybe that's why the Hobbit films suck, because none of that happened in the book. To be fair, I've only seen the first one, so I can't. It's just filmed ugly. The Hobbit films are, but oh, the Lord of the Rings, and then the score, and then the score, and then the score. Oh my god, it's so good. I want to watch him again. You don't even have to watch the extended editions, but I will tell you this. If you have read the books, you will want to watch the extended editions because it has stuff in there that it is in the books. It's not, they're not making it up. It is stuff from the books. And one of my favorite things ever, getting chills again, it's in the extended edition for the Fellowship of the Ring. And it's a Gimli. It's something he's discussing, um, I believe, with Legolas. I don't want to ruin it for you. Maybe I'll ruin it in the future, but I really don't want to ruin it for you now. I love that moment in the book. And I don't know how many years later it took me to watch the extended edition, but to know they actually filmed that shook me. But then to see the actor deliver that, oh, give that man an Oscar for that line read, just for one line. I don't know who's nominated that year, but release, but nominate him for that line in a bit nobody saw. It's The Lord of the Rings was the first thing people had to focus on after 9/11, so that's another reason why it is such a big deal. It could have come out at any time and been a big deal, but specifically then, yeah. Gravy called in. Gravy from Mass. Franco was calls him, I think, Grady from Mass. Gravy. He sounds like Truman Capote. I like when that guy calls in. Love me some breakfast at Tiffany's. This keeps happening. This has been going on for a month or so. It doesn't happen every show, but it happens enough. It never used to happen before, but now it does. Frank will play some kind of song, just music at the intro, pardon me. And then when he comes on the screen, he turns it down. He doesn't really do that now. When he comes back, when he comes on, he'll turn it down, but not enough. So it's kind of drowning him out a bit. And that hurts my ears. I'm not trying to listen to two, sounds shout over each other. So if he's saying anything at the start of the show, I can't hear it. I have to mute that. So I don't know why we don't. He's a musician. His ears got to be better. I don't know what he can hear when he's live, but it's been happening more often. So if he says something important, then it is a mystery to me. So okay, B Chap, you've seen the Two Towers, but not the Fellowship of the Ring. Go back and watch Fellowship, then watch the Two Towers, then watch Return of the King. And then if you really like those, you can watch and of course I'm going to recommend the books. Like there's no Tom Bombadil in the film. So then you read the books and you're like, what is going on? Tom is a whole vibe. That's a whole thing. I see why it did not make it into the movies. It's a little bit silly when you're trying to be serious. But that just kind of that comes out of nowhere when you're reading the books. You think it's just going to be just like the movies. Oh no, that we got this whole sub thing. You're like, what? Then it ends up being good. It's spoilers. Spoilers for a book that was published during World War II. Or was it written during World War II or I don't know exactly when. I know Tolkien wrote it with these. You're just typing like that with these two fingers. That's what they say. If you weren't sure whether or not Matt Copper is a cat, he just confirmed it. He was talking about how he will just sit and eat raw meat. Like you go to the butcher section, like the ground beef, and he'll just like tear it open and just start eating it like chips. I had a cat that loved ground beef, raw meat, would go nuts for it. So I'm like, dude, you just sound like my cat. You cannot tell me that dude is not a kitty cat now. He'll eat anything raw, chicken, seafood, does not matter. It just, if you have to put fire to it, he's not about it. So it's what's your favorite brand of cat food? Uh, he is a cat. That's all it is. His shot is it looks he's like a cat that got locked out of the master bedroom. So he just sits at the top of the stairs and just meows so the entire house can hear it. That's what it feels like because where he just shoots from it's not a room. It's like we're outside some doors and there's the steps going down over there and there's no carpet, there's no furniture because it's just you can't. It's easier to put catnip on a floor that doesn't have carpet on it. It's easier to clean up. Danny, that's right. Matt and his raw meat. Yeah, just Matt Copper from Cultivate Elevate. Brian said all three in order are great. You get action, romance, more action, and a bit of mysticism. Good wins over evil. Damn straight, yeah. Yeah, Tolkien was a godly man. Daddy, yeah, fermented meat doesn't sound tasty. Yeah, I've heard about people like potted meat. Watch Townsend's. They used to be Townsend and Son. Now they're just Townsend's. They've been on YouTube for I don't know, maybe 10 years or more. But they do the George Washington Days type of cooking. It's a pie, and I forget how you prepare the meat, but then it wax on top, and then you gotta store it in your root cellar, and then you take it out later and you eat it. And I guess it doesn't make you sick. I would cook it first. I'm not a caveman. Heat it up. I want if I'm eating, I want to chew my food and I want my hot food hot. Austin Powers International Man of Mystery, so good. And they just took a flying leap with the second one. And that reminded me, cats nap in the sun to keep their metabolism up. So that's why you see them doing that. It's not just like because they're already wearing a coat while you're laying in the sun. And I forget where I learned this, but that's true. And you kind of notice this with your own body how when you're getting sleepy, you feel your temperature drop. So that's when you got to put the covers on. Okay, but if you're a cat and you stay in the sun, that means your metabolism stays going fast. So you don't have to go through that whole getting super sleepy and then waking back up thing. That's why they can just get up just like that. And then Matt is also, when you go to somebody's house and they have a cat and the cat's talking at you and you sit down and they have to immediately jump in your lap and start doing that thing with the claws. So you're getting like sharpness in your thigh and they're walking back and forth and you have to pet them the whole time they're there. That's the kind of cat Matt is. Couldn't say what color cat he is, but he's got that kind of energy because he gets talking about a subject and then that leads into something else and then we hear about that, then that leads into another subject. So like it's like this multi-tiered interview that just keeps going up and gets more layers added into it. It's very interesting, and then the interview's over. Yeah, Matt's the kind of cat that makes you pet him the whole time you're at his house. Yep, that's Matt. Matt Copper, not Matt McCat. Matt McCat seems like like when you're in the room and the cat just they don't come up to you, but they just have to be in the same room as you, and like they're like sleeping on the couch or something, and you're over at the desk working. Oh, but yeah, then he said he uses AI, so that's too bad. Oh, this dude called in, Jason, said he had the best steak ever when he was 8 years old, and he spent his entire life comparing every single steak to that one that he had back then. I know what that's like. You have one good meal. Those pierogies I had at the Walleye Festival, I'm never going to forget about those. It was, oh my God. Oh, they were so perfect. There were no pepper. I didn't want any peppers. It was peppers and onions. She didn't put any in, so it was just the onions, and it was just cooked just right. Just oh my God, and potatoes. Uh, John Rogers said, I heard Ohio was thinking about making declawing cats legal. They should. Don't declaw a cat because what you're doing, you're just cutting off that little tip of it. So you're basically doing that to a cat when they should have this. So yeah, that declawing, that's barbaric. Dandy, yeah, that's what's called making biscuits when cat do the kneading thing. Yeah, I forgot about the modern name for that. Just the when cats are like nursing, they learn to do that to get the milk to flow out. I mentioned my kitten Captain Hector Barbosa. He was bottle fed. It was just it's like his mom wandered in through the open door, gave birth, and left. So he was bottle fed his whole life. So he never did that because he never had to learn it. So he would never do like the kneading thing. He would just like, stretch out and lay down. That was like the one cat thing he did not do. We still did normal cat stuff. But yeah, at the Jason also said he's been watching for 10 years. I've been around for 10.5 years, dude. Where you at? How'd you find the show? Is that on you? I mean, it was on UStream back when I found it. So that's what Frank was saying. He dropped in there real quick saying that he works next Friday, which is yeah the 26th. So he will be on. So next week, it quite frankly is a full week. And that's when he was saying that the show that he's doing tonight at 9 p.m. over on Pilled and Rumble, that's going to be aired October 3rd. That is a Friday. He's taking that off. And that's when he was sort of mentioning something about not taking a full week off and just sort of maybe making it a long weekend. It wasn't anything. It's nothing I could like write down. Like, oh, he's definitely doing this, so I know how to like plan ahead. But um, I'm just I spent the whole year thinking I was gonna have to fill in here for a week. But if he's just it's just so weird to not. I just found out. I think that's why it's weird. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, more shows are good for us. I was just really expecting. Oh, okay. Maybe he counted the jamboree as some vacation time, so he doesn't want to. I don't know why. I don't know. Would it just be because he wouldn't just take a 3 day weekend? I'm thinking about it too much. I don't know. That's next month. That's almost at the end of the year. Who knows? So like next Friday, Frank is on full 5 day week, and then me on Saturday. It was just so weird for him to say that he like usually he's just real quickly saying he's off on a certain day, and then he says it so fast. I hate having to rewind it when it's live because I might miss something, so I gotta rewind it for when he says it really quick because it goes back in 10-second increments, and he doesn't spend 10 seconds talking about it. But I just want to if it was for myself, I might not go back and rewind. But since I repeat that information here, I want to know that stuff for you guys, so I want to be accurate. If I don't know something, I'll let you know. Oh, First Blood Beach Champ. I saw First Blood back in the day. I remember I liked it, but it's been so long ago. I just remember boxing. I'll be chip. Yeah, Frank, quite frankly, wants to make a brand new show on Friday, but doesn't know what to call it. He mentioned that he wants to make it's him and Anthony doing making their own channel, probably doing because Frank mentioned in that survey. Oh, I've got that here. I think it's still open until Monday. This is the survey that Frank has up for his show, just to get people's opinions on the stuff he's doing. It takes about 3 minutes to answer all the questions, and then at the very end, there's a little area where you can type something to answer the question. I don't know the character limit, but he's just trying to gauge people's what their feelings are about the show. But it does sound like he wants to make the show 4 days a week, maybe not every week, but just more make that more of a regular thing starting next year, your next year. But you know, instead of say being live on Quite Frankly on Friday, he would be doing something with Anthony on a separate channel. I don't know if that would be live. I don't know if it's pre-recorded. They just need to get work out a name for it. Since it's going to be, it kind of sounds like more Zadalza, where that was just less politics, more music and silly, more randomness, really. It never knew what was going to happen at Zadalza. They might just get on a rant about something, and you know, suddenly 40 minutes of the show was that, and it was only an hour-long show. I haven't seen that movie. Drill Bit Taylor, yeah, haven't seen that. I like Owen Wilson just fine. You've got to see Zoolander. Oh my god, dude. You should listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool guy. Haven't seen Zoolander 2. I don't know. I couldn't speak about that. But Zoolander, classic. But why male models? Are you serious? I just told you. God, I haven't seen that in so long. Maybe it's on. Check out Tubi. That's where I've been watching Dark Shadows. I've got the link to that in the description of this show and the channel. They are good for having movies other streaming platforms just don't want to mess with. So like it's a lot of B movies on there, stuff you've never heard of, stuff you never wanted to hear of. But they've got like TV shows. They've got Dark Shadows. They might have Columbo on there. John Rogers, Blades of Glory. I need to see that. I don't think I've heard anything bad about that. And that'll just take us into the end of, well, the end of my year anyway. Oh, wait. If today is 21, 2, yeah, 3 weeks until New Year's Day. And since October 11th is a Saturday, I will be live. That's how it works. If my birthday, whatever day of the week my birthday's on, that's the same day of the week New Year's Day is good. Same day of the week New Year's Day is going to be on. So back in 1999, my birthday was on a Monday. The first October 11th in 1999 was on a Monday. Just happened to be that day. Didn't plan it. Moda said, how about a survey for you to get rid of that shirt? I've got a different shirt, but I thought I'd sweat too much wearing it. Modus is an OG. If you have like a small or a medium shirt that's not white or blue, you might have a way to get it to me. What? Now I'm noticing my shirt, it's bunching up in the back. It's thin too. It's like it's a boy's shirt. I don't know where that somebody must have given it to me. I don't go shopping in the boys section, but it fits me like it's a small. So whatever size that would be. Like that shirt that I got for Grace Still Plays, the long sleeve shirt. It's a child size extra large, but it fits me like a extra small. It's super tight. I don't necessarily like my clothing that tight, but if you want a long sleeve shirt, that's what you got to do. Brian says Tubi also has a good amount of documentaries as well. Yeah, there are some documentaries about Dark Shadows on there. I haven't watched them. Not yet, anyway. Moda said, I'll get a post office box. I'll get you 10 shirts. If you have the $600 or so it costs to keep it open for 6 months, I can definitely look into that. Those things are expensive. It's just a box. It's just a box. I'm not going to decorate it. I'm not going to move in. I'm not going to party in it. Why does it cost so much? I'm not going to stick my dick in it. Maybe that's on the form. Like a applicant states they will not stick their dick in. Like, yes, as a girl, I will not stick my dick in. Not even at Christmas time. Francois, 600. I don't. You go to fill it out, you go to do it online, and it's stupid because it's like you can get 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. But if you sign up for the 3 months, it automatically like enrolls you for like the 6 month thing. So you're just automatically on the hook for half of the year. Okay, whatever, that's fucked up. Let me just go there in person. It's right in town. So you go in there, you get a form, and it's like they just opened up. I don't think this bitch was awake yet, but she says it costs like 100 and some bucks like a month. Like I'm not even gonna see it every day. I'm not gonna live in it. I'm not gonna pay rent on a box. That's like a Monty Python sketch. This is not the Four Yorkshiremen. My God. So yeah, it would be like if I had the income for it, it would be different, but I don't. So I don't have that, and like there are some people that can send me stuff. I will give them my personal address, but then I have some like creeps out there who try to get my personal address, so I can't just give it out to everyone. And like I don't have there's not like an Amazon pickup place for me to pick up stuff. I don't have an abandoned warehouse to send mail to. Oh, BJ. I don't know if I know that song. I haven't listened to a lot of Aerosmith. I'm so glad that they like slowly stopped playing them on the radio and MTV back when they played music. And that's a band I'm glad I don't have to hear anymore. I'm not saying they're terrible. corner store. There aren't corner stores. It's there's like that main road to Cedar Point, and then you have to turn off of that onto this road. It's not even a proper road. It's I'm surprised we gotten through the whole month and they haven't closed it down, because they close it down once a month on the one day of the week when I go out. So we got to drive through this, trailer park. But yeah, there's a bowling alley. I haven't been in there since 2003. Then there's rich houses. I don't trust them. The people who live out here are animal abusing, drug dealing pedophiles. And then there's those trailers back there. People get into their cars and they just straight back up. Never mind like four cars going by. They don't care. They're just trying to cause a car accident. There's speed bumps and everything too. Fuck. I fly over those. Francois, send the shirts to Frank maybe. Yeah, I don't know if he'd would want to be my in-between guy for that. Oh, Dandy said I have a big fat spider building a web on my front porch on this beautiful fall evening. Oh, cool. He's getting ready for Halloween. That's cute. That is a nice idea. If I had somebody else, or they should have places where you can send mail and then pick it up that doesn't cost closer to $1,000. It, I don't know. That's stupid. And what are they spending it on? That building has never been updated. It's not like the hospital that's constantly under construction. The walls in the hospital at Cleveland Clinic move around more than they did in Labyrinth. I shit you not. Like corridors that you walk through 1 month, or like one day, you go there 2 weeks later, or whatever, and it's a wall now. Now you got to go through this whole other thing to know. Oh, right. We'll work something out. I don't know what is up with. Maybe Minecraft is supposed to be creepy like that. Maybe it's because I tried survival. I really did. I tried regular, like, stuff can kill you survival. And I spawned into a place, and I go into a cave, and I thought it was cool that I found some iron so fast, and I smelted it, and then it was nighttime, and I thought, cool, I'll just mine for a while until it's daytime. And I had torches and everything. I had coal, and maybe I just was not. Oh, okay, it was too dark in that cave. That's fine. But then something blew up behind me, and my heart jumped out of my chest. I said nope. I bricked up everything. I said no. I was just in this tight little area with my furnace. I didn't even have a bed. Go look outside. It was still dark. I said no. What am I supposed to do? Friggin' have a heart attack. Then found out the next day what happened was, because I didn't hear anything. There was like zero sound and there was an explosion. But that's okay. It's my fault for not having torches, but it's kind of not my fault because that was a creeper, and creepers are silent before they blow up. So that's kind of not my fault for not hearing it. It's not my fault for hearing something that doesn't make sound. Okay, it is my fault for not using torches, and that scared the shit out of me. And then it was raining, and I didn't turn off the weather. Maybe I should have. And then I didn't know which way I was facing or what time of day it was. And then it seemed like it was always night. And then suddenly I'm up on top of this mountainy, like just stone with an armadillo. Like I guess he lived up there. And then suddenly I'm getting, I think I got shot at. I heard the arrow sound, so I know that was a skeleton. And I kill him. And then I saw a spider. I said, I'm not fucking with that. Ran. Then I died again. I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. This game is too hard. I gotta get better at it. So it's just it's a world where I have to. It's not creative mode. I have to actually like chop down trees for wood, or like mine for stone, or I can build. You can make automated systems for basically anything in Minecraft if you have the resources. So I'm just doing it like that. Oh, hell yeah, Modus. I forgot about that. I says I'll break over, going back to my grow tent, 7 new seedlings. Sweet. Oh, John Rogers had good nurses at Cleveland Clinic. Oh, good. I'm glad they got good nurses up there now. Beat Chap said, just reminded me of the medical system. It's very sad. Even the public health sector wants money from patients if they spend about a month and a half to 2 months in the hospital. Yeah, it's a business. They know people are paranoid about health, especially after the last 5 years. And you can't make money off of happy people because they're not buying stuff they don't need. So they just feed into people's paranoia and line their pockets with gold. And people think it's okay to go to the hospital, especially when they have insurance. Like that makes it okay. But you can unalive yourself at home for cheaper. You're never going to get healthy going to a hospital, same as you're never going to be happy watching the news. It's not designed for that. The news is not designed to make you happy. The hospital is not designed to make you healthy. That's why they have a morgue attached. They're expecting you to leave out the back door. Modus said I'm always listening, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Yeah, can't forget about Modus. He's cool. Francois, yep, it's a pay or die, even pay and die. It's just how much money can they get out? How insured do you look? Okay, well, we're just going to send you for this test and that test. And oh, no, it won't cost you anything. Your insurance will cover it. Then you get a bill, and my hospital bills go directly into the trash. Back when I went to hospital, they just like, nope, you didn't help me, so what am I paying you for? Question mark. I don't work that way. So what are you gonna do to stop me from walking in if I try to go to the emergency room? It doesn't work like that. I wouldn't, but still, if they put your, like if you write a bad check and they put your name up on the wall, like, oh, well, this person didn't pay one of the 3 bills we sent out to them for us not helping them, so we're not going to help you out. They didn't help me out back when I was 10 years old. Why would they help me out now? That's why I have a bad back today. The worst part, if you go to Cedar Point, it's fine. But if you get hurt, just jump in the water and take a deep breath, because the worst part is going to be when they take you to the hospital, which is Firelands Regional Medical Center. That place will fuck you up worse than Cedar Point. Like that lady, it was its Top Thrill dragster, and that piece of metal came off and hit her in the head. They took her to the local hospital. I'm sure she's fine now. I don't know if she survived it, but I'm sure, I don't know any kind of condition, if she's mentally effed up or if she's okay. But like, you're better off just lying on the floor on the concrete and bleeding to death. Oh man, I'm glad you guys had a couple of extra hours on a Saturday. If you, this is time machine food you can only get by going into the past. So if you get in your time machine, get some Florida Man coffee, hot cocoa, catastrophic chocolate. Again, they don't make this anymore. The business went out of business a couple years ago, so they still have hot chocolate left, which means you can go back in time and get your hands on some bags. Oh, Brian Cool said I'm going to Cedar Point next spring, maybe this fall too. Yeah, yeah, check it out. It's I mean, I have not been in a while, but it was fun when I went. Oh, Dandy said a friend of mine at Cedar Point today. LOL. I mean, it's safe. I've been there. Like, we used to go there every summer when I was a kid. I never got her. I knew a girl who got her over there, like something with her knee maybe, and she got some kind of settlement. But I never asked like how much. It's not like she was like retired off of it. She was around my age, like 20s. But like, I've never, like, all my friends who went there, like me personally, yeah, I've never heard, seen anybody, like no ambulance, none like that. So it is a safe place, as far as the rides go. And then my favorite roller coaster killed a guy, and it was totally the guy's fault. The Raptor. Yeah, and we do have a lot of Ohio Franklies. It started out with just me, and now it seems like most of the Franklies are in Ohio. But Ohio is a very big place. We're twice the size of the Netherlands. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me for a couple hours on a Saturday. This was the best part of the day after just feeling so tired and crummy all day. John Rogers said he went, last time he went was for Halloween weekends. I've never been over there for Halloween weekends. Like, I wouldn't go over there when the sun's in a water sign, so I couldn't be over there for Halloween. Halloween is the day that my friend passed away back in 2014, and that's why I'm fucked up now, so I don't do any, like, I like Halloween in theory, but I don't go through the stuff. It just reminds me of the day everything ended for me. But I'm glad people like it. Like, go trick or treat, have fun, dress up, act silly. Just don't get married on Halloween like a loser. And the vampires and monsters know to stay in that day as well. Then you see like the skanky chicks doing the walk of shame the next day. Otis said about a handful of us subscribed to Tracy. She said, let's go over to this interview I'm having with some guy, Frankly. Her shows were always lives from her front porch. Been sub to Frank ever since. That's cool. Is that a Tracy Bean? She seems cool. I like her background. It's just like the white with the blue lights and M. Valbero. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Frank is gonna be on. He's on Rumble and quite frankly.tv. You guys can go check it out there. It's not on YouTube. Thanks for showing up here. Smash that like button on the way out. Don't forget your pants. You're gonna need them all week at the show. Check out Dark Shadows. Check out Minecraft. It is $30, but Dark Shadows is free. This channel's free. Dandy found Frank through Tracy too. That's cool. But yeah, thanks again. You guys are the best. Check him out. See what they're doing. I have been cutting myself off early for these, so. But thank you guys for giving me a platform when I can see you guys when Quite Frankly is off. Just 3 more weeks to the year. So I love seeing everybody. All right, until